Life has a way of pulling back the curtain on the people you thought you could count on, and it often happens at the worst possible moment. I learned this truth in a way I will never forget during what was meant to be a celebration of everything I had worked so hard to achieve. Hello, everyone. I am Lucy, 32 years old, and just a few weeks ago, my life took a dramatic turn on the very day I was supposed to stand tall and proud. I collapsed right there on the graduation stage in front of 4,800 people in Portland, Oregon. The doctors discovered a brain tumor that required immediate surgery. They attempted to contact my parents, but no one answered their calls. 4 days later, when I finally woke up in a hospital room, surrounded by the constant beeping of machines and tubes running into my arms, the first thing I saw was not my family gathered around with worried expressions. Instead, it was a post on social media from my older brother James. The entire family, including my mom Lila and my dad Michael, stood smiling in front of the Eiffel Tower. The caption talked about a wonderful family trip to Paris and how nice it was to finally have no stress and no drama. I did not say a word. I did not comment or call to ask what was going on. That silence lasted until 53 missed calls from my dad lit up my phone screen, along with a text message that simply said, "We need you to answer right away." In that instant, it became clear that they were not reaching out because they missed me or were concerned. They needed something from me, something entirely different. If you are listening to this story and it strikes a chord with you, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel, but only if you genuinely want to know how everything played out in the end. If you are watching right now, I would love for you to leave a comment telling me where you are from and what time it is there. Now let me take you back to about 6 weeks before my graduation day, to the moment when things really started to fall apart in my family. I stood in the kitchen of our home in Portland, watching my mom Lila flip through a thick stack of wedding magazines. None of them were for me. All of them were for my older brother James, who had just gotten engaged. Overnight, the whole house seemed to orbit around his wedding plans and timeline. "Lucy, could you please pick up the napkin samples from the printer tomorrow?" my mom asked without looking up. "Your brother is tied up with all his fitting appointments." "I have my final exams to study for, Mom," I answered, keeping my voice steady. "You will handle it. You always manage somehow," she replied. That was how it had been for years. As the reliable daughter, everyone just assumed I would take care of whatever needed doing. I had spent the last several years working 38 hours a week at a popular cafe in downtown Portland, while keeping up a 3.9 grade point average. I paid for my own tuition through scholarships and the money from my shifts. Meanwhile, my parents had covered every semester of my brother James's college expenses without any questions or conditions. "Mom, I wanted to talk to you about graduation," I said, trying to sound casual. "I need to get an outfit for the ceremony. Maybe we could go shopping together this weekend." She finally glanced up, but her attention quickly returned to the magazines. "Sweetheart, you are so skilled at finding bargains online. I am confident you can sort that out yourself. I need to focus on your brother's engagement party right now." "It is in 2 weeks," she said. "But graduation matters too, Mom." Her tone became firmer. "Your brother is inviting his fiancé's parents. We want the whole event to be perfect." I simply nodded, as I always had. Later that same evening, while folding clothes in my childhood bedroom, I heard my mom talking on the phone with her friend. She mentioned the graduation. "Yes, Lucy is valedictorian this year. Can you imagine?" There was a short pause and a laugh. "But the timing is really inconvenient. James's engagement party is the same week, and that comes first. Lucy understands. She has always been so independent." Independent? That word they used when they really meant easy to ignore. That night, I called the one family member who had always taken the time to ask how I was truly feeling. My grandma Monica picked up after the second ring. "Lucy, I was just thinking about you," she said in that warm voice that always made me feel a little less alone. "Hey, Grandma. Tell me everything. How are your exams going? How is the speech coming along?" I sat down on my bed and spent the next 20 minutes describing my senior capstone project, the graduation address I had rewritten 7 times already, and how scared I was about speaking in front of such a large audience. When I finished, Grandma Monica asked if I had my dress yet or shoes, or if I needed any help with anything. My throat felt tight. I am fine, Grandma. Really. She was quiet for a moment, that thoughtful kind of quiet that meant she saw through my answer. Your late grandfather would have been so proud of you. He always believed you had his same drive and spirit. I never knew my grandfather on my father's side. He had passed away before I came into the world. But from old pictures, people often said I shared his dark hair and that determined chin. I will be there, Lucy. Front row just like always. I would not miss it for the world. Thank you, Grandma. It means more than you know. I replied, my voice breaking slightly. And Lucy, I have been saving something special for you. A gift from your late grandmother. She wanted you to receive it when you graduated from college. I have kept it safe for all these years. Before I could ask what it was, my older brother James pushed open the door without knocking. Lucy, have you seen my watch anywhere? I cannot find it, he said impatiently. I covered the phone. I have not used your watch, James. He rolled his eyes and showed off his engagement ring, like it was proof of his importance. Fine. And hey, congratulations on the valedictorian announcement or whatever. Then he left the room. Grandma Monica had heard every word. She stayed silent, but that silence carried a lot of meaning. 1 week before graduation, I was surviving on 5 hours of sleep each night, 4 cups of strong coffee, and sheer willpower. My finals were complete. My senior capstone project had been turned in. I had been working extra shifts at the cafe because the rent was due, and I refused to ask my parents for any assistance. They always found a way to bring it up later as some kind of favor they had done. My head had been throbbing nonstop for 4 days straight. I kept telling myself it was just the stress from everything. My mom called while I was cleaning tables after closing time at the cafe. Lucy, I need you to come home this weekend. The engagement party for your brother is on Saturday, and I need your help getting everything ready. Mom, I am scheduled to work, I said. Just call in sick. Your brother needs you here. I gripped the phone tightly. What about what I need? There was silence for a moment. Then she said, Do not be so dramatic, Lucy. It is only 1 weekend. Your brother is only getting engaged once. And I am only graduating once, I thought, but did not say out loud. I am valedictorian after 4 years of perfect effort while working myself to the point of exhaustion. Fine, I will be there, I answered instead. I hung up and immediately felt the familiar pain behind my eyes grow stronger. The room seemed to shift a little. I held onto the counter for balance. Are you all right? My coworker Alex asked with concern. Yeah, just tired, I replied. That night, I had a nosebleed that lasted for 20 minutes straight. I convinced myself it was the dry air in the apartment and nothing more serious. On the drive home, a text came in from my brother James. Do not forget to pick up those custom napkins and make sure you wear something decent. His fiance's parents will be at the party. No questions about how I was doing, no thanks for the help, just instructions. My phone buzzed again. This time, it was from my dad. Can you pick up Aunt Carol from the airport on Friday? Your mom and I are busy preparing for your brother's party. I had to pull over to the side of the road. My hands were shaking, and I could not tell if it was from anger or from something else I could not name. My best friend Sophia arrived at my apartment without warning, carrying takeout food and wearing a worried expression. You look like you have not slept in days, she said as she walked past me into the kitchen. Thanks. Good to see you too, I answered. Sophia had been my closest friend since our first year of college. She was the only one who had witnessed me break down over my family issues before. She was also the kind of person who told the truth, even when it was hard to hear. Lucy, when was the last time you actually got a full night of rest? She asked, setting the food down and turning to face me. I sleep, I said. You are lying, she replied, crossing her arms. I spoke with Alex. She told me you nearly fainted at work yesterday. It was just dizziness from all the stress with finals. It is stress from your family, Sophia said more gently. Lucy, You are running yourself into the ground for people who will not even bother to attend your graduation. They will come. It is my graduation day, I insisted, though I was not sure anymore. Sophia sat down across from me. In the 4 years we have been friends, they have not shown up to a single one of your award events. Not even one. Remember when you received that special fellowship who was in the audience, just you and your grandma? You are right, I admitted quietly. She reached over and took my hand. Lucy, you do not have to keep sacrificing yourself for people who do not even notice what you are giving up. My eyes began to sting and I blinked quickly to stop the tears. Later that night, after Sophia left, I was brushing my teeth when my vision suddenly split into double. I grabbed the edge of the sink. The headache had returned stronger than before. I knew I should see a doctor, but there was no time. The engagement party was the next day. I took 2 more pain relievers and went to bed. My phone lit up with a message from Sophia. If anything happens, make sure you call your grandma. She is the only one who truly cares about you. I did not reply, but I also did not delete the message. The day of my brother James's engagement party arrived. I had been standing for 7 hours straight, arranging chairs, organizing flowers, refilling champagne glasses, and fulfilling the role I had always played in my family. The invisible helper who made everything run smoothly. The backyard looked beautiful with white lights hanging from the trees. There was an elaborate 5-tiered cake that must have cost as much as 3 months of my rent combined. About 80 guests dressed in their nicest clothes laughed and raised their glasses to my brother's future. No one asked a single question about what my future held. Lucy, we need more champagne over here, my mom called from across the lawn. I picked up another bottle and made my way through the crowd. My head was pounding again, but I kept smiling. My brother James stood near the fountain with his arm around his fiancée. He had already had a few glasses of champagne and was glowing with attention. Everyone, this is my younger sister Lucy. She takes care of everything around this place. Honestly, I do not know how we would manage without her. There was scattered applause and a few polite smiles. Then James leaned in closer, his voice carrying just far enough for others to hear. She is really good at helping out with all the little things. She is planning to work as a social worker helping families in need. Can you picture that? Light laughter followed the kind that dismissed what I did as unimportant. Oh, and she is graduating next week too, James added as if it was an afterthought. Valedictorian or something like that. Valedictorian, I corrected quietly. Right, that is the word, he said with a wave of his hand. She has always been the intelligent one in the family, but being smart does not pay for fancy vacations or nice things, does it? More laughter rippled through the group. I excused myself and went to the kitchen. I leaned against the counter and tried to breathe steadily. Through the window, I noticed an older gentleman observing the scene. I recognized him as Mr. Thompson, someone who had worked with my grandma Monica in the past. His face gave nothing away. My phone vibrated with a text from an unknown number. Your grandmother deserves to know exactly how your family is treating you right now. I looked up and saw Mr. Thompson raise his glass slightly in my direction before turning away. My hand started to tremble, but this time it was not only from embarrassment. After the party ended, I found myself alone in the kitchen, up to my elbows in soapy dishwater. Everyone else had moved to the living room to look at engagement photos. My mom walked in, her cheeks flushed from wine and satisfaction. Lucy, I have some exciting news, she said. I did not turn around. What is it? We are all going to Paris as a family. Your brother's fiancé's family is treating everyone to the trip to celebrate the engagement. My hands stopped moving in the water. Paris when? Next Saturday. We are flying out Friday night. Friday night. My graduation is Saturday morning. I turned around slowly. Mom, my graduation ceremony is on Saturday. She waved her hand. I know, sweetheart, but the flights were already reserved when we found out about this wonderful deal. You are missing my graduation for a trip. Do not say it that way, she frowned. It is not just any trip. It is for your brother. I am the valedictorian, Mom. I have to give the speech, and you will do wonderfully. You do not really need us there anyway. You have always been so independent and capable. I stared at her, hoping she would hear how her words sounded. She did not seem to notice. My dad appeared in the doorway behind her. He avoided looking directly at me. Lucy, your mother and I talked about this. Your brother needs our support right now. He is facing a major life transition. And finishing college as valedictorian is not a major life transition. You are strong, Lucy. You do not rely on us the same way your brother does, my dad said in a tired voice. The room seemed to tilt again. I held onto the counter. Mom's voice sounded distant when she said I looked pale. I am fine, I managed to say. I need to leave. I have an early shift tomorrow. I walked out before either of them could respond. I sat in my car in the dark for 10 minutes before driving back to my empty apartment. Once inside, I cried until I could not catch my breath anymore. 3 days before my graduation ceremony, I lay on the floor of my small apartment because standing up required more energy than I had left. My best friend Sophia's voice came through the speakerphone, sounding both worried and frustrated at the same time. They are actually skipping your graduation for a vacation, she asked. It is for my brother James's engagement, I replied weakly. Sophia, stop making excuses for them, she said. I am not making excuses. I am just facing the reality of the situation. That is even worse, she answered softly. I stared at the ceiling, noticing a water stain that looked oddly like a broken heart. It felt fitting somehow. For years now, Sophia continued, you have pushed yourself to the breaking point, and they cannot even delay one trip for you. Apparently not, I said. She went quiet for a moment before asking more gently how I was feeling physically. She had noticed I sounded off the day before. I am fine, I told her, just really tired. That night, I woke up at 4 in the morning with the most intense headache I had ever experienced. The pain was so sharp that I actually cried out. I stumbled into the bathroom. Blood was pouring from my nose again, heavier than before. It would not stop. I sat on the cold tile floor with my head tilted back, waiting it out. 15 minutes passed, then 20. Finally, the bleeding slowed. I looked at my reflection in the mirror. Dark circles under my eyes, hollow cheeks. When had I started looking like a ghost? I knew I should see a doctor, but graduation was in 3 days and I still had to memorize my speech. I sent a quick text to Sophia saying I was fine and going back to sleep. Then I opened my photos and scrolled until I found one of Grandma Monica and me from last Christmas. She was the only one who had been looking at the camera, the only one standing right beside me. I thought about what Sophia had said earlier. If anything happens, call your grandma. She is the only one who truly cares. I saved her number as my second emergency contact just in case something went wrong. Then I swallowed more pain medication and told myself I only had to survive 3 more days. If you have ever felt completely invisible to the very people who should have loved you the most, or if you have been the one everyone counts on, but no one truly sees, type the word invisible in the comments below. I see you. I have been exactly where you are. And if you want to know what really happened when I stepped onto that stage at graduation, stay with me through the next part of the story. It is something I will never forget, for as long as I live. One day before graduation, Grandma Monica called while I was practicing my speech for what felt like the 100th time. Lucy, are you ready for tomorrow? She asked. As ready as I will ever be, I said, setting down my note cards. Are you sure you can make the drive? I know it is a long one for you. Wild horses could not keep me away, she replied, and I could hear the smile in her voice. I am leaving tonight and staying at a hotel near campus. I want to arrive early. My throat tightened. Grandma, you do not have to do that. I want to, she said. I need to give you something. There was a pause. Something your late grandmother wanted you to have. She made me promise to wait until you finished college. She knew you would make it, Lucy. Even before you were born, she knew. I did not know what to say. What is it, Grandma? You will see tomorrow, she said gently. Just know that your late grandmother and I have always believed in you, even when others seem to forget. A long pause followed. Lucy, did your father ever tell you that I offered to help with your tuition? What? This was news to me. No, he always said you could not afford to help with both educations. Grandma Monica made a sound that was half sigh and half bitter laugh. Is that what he told you? Grandma, what do you mean? Tomorrow, she said softly. We will talk tomorrow after the ceremony. For now, just remember this. You are not alone, Lucy. You never were. I hung up the phone feeling more confused than ever. Grandma Monica had money. She had offered to help with my tuition. So where had that money gone? My head throbbed, but there was no time to dwell on it. Tomorrow was the biggest day of my life. I just had to get through one more night. Graduation morning arrived. I woke up to a pounding headache and a text from my mom. Just landed in Paris. Have a wonderful graduation, sweetheart. So proud of you. Attached was a selfie of the whole family at the airport in Paris. My brother James was pouting for the camera. My dad Michael gave a thumbs up. My mom Lila smiled like she did not have a care in the world, like she had not just abandoned her daughter on the most important day of her life. I did not respond. Sophia picked me up at 9 in the morning. She took one look at me and frowned. Lucy, you look gray. Actually, gray, she said. I am just nervous. It is fine. It is not fine, she replied. When did you last eat something? I had coffee. That is not food, she said, forcing half a granola bar into my hand while she drove. I managed 3 bites before my stomach turned. The campus was already full of activity. Families everywhere with balloons and flowers, proud parents taking photos. I tried not to look at them. In the staging area, I checked my phone one more time. Another text from my mom. Send pictures. We want to see everything. They wanted to see everything, but they had not wanted to be there to see anything. Before putting my phone away, I noticed the emergency contact form I had filled out years earlier and never updated. Primary contact my dad Michael. Secondary contact my mom, Lila. On impulse, I pulled up the form online and added a third line. Secondary contact Grandma Monica. I do not know why I did it. It just felt right. Then I saw her. Grandma Monica was already seated in the front row waiting. She waved at me. In her hands, I could see a manila envelope. I waved back. For the first time all week, I felt like I could finally breathe. Lucy Donovan. A stage manager approached. You are up in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I can do this. I just have to stay standing long enough to get through it. 4,800 people. The sun was blazing. My cap felt too tight. The black gown absorbed the heat like a furnace. My name echoed through the speakers. And now, our valedictorian, Lucy Donovan. Applause. A roar of applause. I walked to the podium one step at a time. The stage lights were blinding. I gripped the microphone and found Grandma Monica in the crowd. She was beaming. Sophia sat next to her phone out recording. 2 empty seats beside them, reserved for family. No one had claimed them. I cleared my throat. Thank you all for being here today. I stand before you not just because of grades or test scores, but because of the people who truly believed in me. The words were there. I had practiced them 1,000 times, but something was wrong. The stage tilted. My vision narrowed to a single point. The microphone slipped from my hand. I heard my own voice, distant and strange. Believed in me when I could not believe in myself. Pain exploded behind my eyes, white-hot and blinding. The world spun. I saw Grandma Monica's face change from pride to horror. I saw Sophia stand up. I saw the 2 empty seats. And then I saw nothing. My body hit the stage floor with a sound I will never forget. Somewhere far away, people were screaming. Call 911. Get a doctor. Someone call her family. Hands on my face. Sophia's voice shaking. Lucy. Lucy, can you hear me? Grandma Monica's weathered hand gripping mine. I am here, sweetheart. I am here. I tried to speak. Tried to tell them I was okay, but the darkness was swallowing me whole. The last thing I heard before everything went black was a stranger's urgent voice. We are calling her parents now. Does anyone have their number? They will not answer, I thought. Then I was gone. This part of the story I did not witness myself. Sophia told me later when I could finally bear to hear it. The ambulance arrived in 12 minutes. I was unconscious the entire time. At the hospital, doctors moved quickly. They did a CT scan, then an MRI. Their faces grew grimmer with each result: brain tumor. The neurosurgeon told Sophia and Grandma Monica in the waiting room that it was pressing on my frontal lobe. "We need to operate immediately," the doctor said. Right now, Sophia's voice cracked. "Within the hour. We need family consent." Sophia pulled out my phone and found my parents' numbers. First call went straight to voicemail. Second call straight to voicemail. Third call, voicemail. "Please," Sophia begged into the phone. "Lucy is in the hospital. It is an emergency. Call us back." "Nothing." Grandma Monica tried next. She called her son directly. My dad Michael picked up on the fifth ring. "Dad, we are at the airport about to board our flight. Lucy collapsed at graduation. She has a brain tumor. She is going into surgery in 40 minutes. Silence on the other end. Then my dad's voice strangely calm. "Dad, we are about to take off. Can you handle things there? We will call when we land." Grandma Monica's face turned to stone. "Your daughter is about to have emergency brain surgery," she said slowly. "And you are asking me to handle it." "Dad, the flight is 12 hours long. By the time we get back, she will be out of surgery anyway. There is nothing we can do from here." A long pause. "Michael, I want you to hear this clearly. If you get on that plane, do not bother calling me again." But my dad did get on that plane. They all did. Grandma Monica signed the consent forms as my emergency contact. When they wheeled me into surgery, I had two people waiting for me: my grandma Monica and my best friend, Sophia. My family was 30,000 feet in the air choosing Paris over me. I woke up 4 days later. The first thing I saw was a white ceiling, white walls, white sheets. The second thing I saw was Grandma Monica asleep in a chair next to my bed, still wearing the same clothes from graduation day. The third thing I saw was Sophia curled up on a cot in the corner, dark circles under her eyes. I tried to speak. My throat felt like sandpaper. Sophia stirred, opened her eyes, and saw me. Lucy. She was at my bedside in seconds, tears streaming down her face. "Oh my God, Lucy." Grandma Monica woke up, her face crumpled with relief. "My girl," she whispered. "My brave girl." I tried to form words. What happened? Sophia and Grandma Monica exchanged a look, the kind that told me something was very wrong. "You had a brain tumor," Sophia said carefully. "They removed it. You are going to be okay. Surgery. 4 days ago. You have been unconscious for 4 days." I turned my head and saw my phone on the nightstand charging. My parents. Another look exchanged between them. Sophia handed me the phone. "Lucy, maybe you should wait." But I was already opening Instagram. And there it was, posted about 18 hours earlier. A photo of my entire family. My mom, Lila, my dad, Michael, my brother, James, standing in front of the Eiffel Tower at sunset. The caption read, "Family trip in Paris. Finally, no stress, no drama. Hashtag blessed family time." 247 likes. 32 comments, all gushing with excitement. I scrolled through the other photos. Champagne at a cafe. My brother James in a nice suit. My dad eating croissants. Not one single mention of me. Not one. Lucy, Sophia's voice was gentle. "They know you are in the hospital. Grandma Monica called them." I looked at my grandmother. Her jaw was tight. "They know." I stared at the photo again. No stress, no drama. That was what I was to them. Stress, drama. I closed Instagram. I did not cry. I did not have the energy left to cry. 4 days after the surgery, I was getting stronger every day. The doctors told me the tumor had been benign and they had caught it just in time. I did not post anything on social media. I did not comment on my brother James's photos. I did not call my parents to confront them. I simply existed, focused on healing, and tried to process everything that had happened. Grandma Monica visited every single day. Sophia practically lived in my hospital room. The nurses knew both of them by name. "Now you need to eat more," Grandma Monica said one evening, pushing a container of soup toward me. "I am not hungry. Lucy Eleanor Donovan, you will eat this soup. Or I will spoon-feed it to you myself," she said with a small smile. I almost smiled back. That evening, Sophia went home to shower. Grandma Monica fell asleep in her chair. I was finally alone with my thoughts when my phone lit up. One missed call from my dad, then 5, then 20, then 48 missed calls from my dad. My heart stuttered. Then the texts started appearing. Dad, Lucy, call me back. Important. Dad, answer your phone. Dad, Lucy, we need to talk now. Dad, Lucy, this is urgent. Call immediately. Mom, honey, please call your father. Brother James, Lucy, what did you do? Dad is freaking out. I scrolled through them. 48 missed calls, 23 texts. Not one asked how I was. Not one said they were sorry. Not one said they loved me. Just, we need you. Answer immediately. I showed Grandma Monica when she woke up. Her face darkened. They know, she said quietly. Know what? She took a deep breath. Lucy, there is something I need to tell you. Something about why they are really calling. What do you mean? It is not because they are worried about you, she said, her voice heavy. It is because I told them about the gift, your late grandmother's gift, and they just realized what they might lose. My blood ran cold. Grandma, what gift? She looked at me with tired, sad eyes. It is time you knew the truth. Grandma Monica pulled her chair closer and took my hand. 22 years ago, when you were born, your late grandmother and I made a decision. We opened an education savings account in your name. For college. Not exactly, she shook her head. We knew your parents would pay for college. That is what we told ourselves anyway. This account was different. A graduation gift. Seed money for your future. Your late grandmother called it your freedom fund. How much? Grandma Monica hesitated. Enough to purchase a modest home outright or to launch the small business you had always dreamed of starting. My head spun. That is life-changing money. But my dad told me you did not have money to help with tuition, that you could only help my brother James because he asked. Grandma Monica's voice turned bitter. Your father asked me for money for both of your educations. I gave it. I wrote 2 checks, one for you and one for your brother James. Same amount. Then where did my money go? I do not know, but I can guess, she said. She pulled out her phone and showed me a photo of a bank statement, 2 withdrawals on the same day 5 years ago. Your parents cashed both checks. They put your brother James's portion toward his tuition. And mine. I thought about their new kitchen renovation, my mom's designer bags, the vacation fund they always seem to have. They spent it, I whispered. I believe so. And this freedom fund, they did not know about it. I never told them. I knew Lucy. Even back then, I knew they treated you differently. This money was always meant to bypass them entirely directly to you on your graduation day. But now they know. I told your father when you were in surgery. I was angry. I said if he did not come home, I would make sure you received everything. Grandma Monica sighed. I should not have said it like that, but I was furious. That is why they are calling. Yes. Not for me. For the money. They arrive the next afternoon. I hear them before I see them. My mom's heels clicking down the hospital corridor, her voice too loud. Which room, Donovan? Lucy Donovan. Sophia stands up from her chair. I should go. Stay, please. She nods and takes a position by the window. The door bursts open. My mom sweeps in, first face arranged in perfect maternal concern. Lucy, baby, we came as fast as we could. She leans down to hug me. I do not hug back. You came as fast as you could, I repeat slowly. 5 days after I nearly died. The flights were fully booked. Instagram says you posted from the Louvre yesterday. My mom's face flickers. We were trying to make the best of a difficult situation. My dad enters behind her. He looks tired. He cannot meet my eyes. Then my brother James, shopping bags in hand, actually carrying shopping bags into a hospital room. Hey, Lucy. He does not approach the bed. You look better than I expected. Sophia makes a sound in the corner. I do not look at her, but I can feel her rage from across the room. James, I say calmly, I had brain surgery. I know. That is so crazy, right? He sets down his bags. Anyway, we cut the trip short, so you are welcome. The room falls silent. Then my mom clears her throat. Lucy, sweetheart, we should talk as a family. She looks pointedly at Sophia. Privately. Sophia stays. Lucy. Sophia was here when I woke up. Sophia held my hand before surgery. Sophia stays. My mom's lips thin, but before she can argue, the door opens again. Grandma Monica. The temperature drops 10 degrees. My dad stiffens. Mom? Dad? Grandma Monica's voice is ice. James. She walks to my bedside and takes my hand. I see you finally found time in your schedule. My mom starts to speak. Grandma Monica cuts her off. Do not. Just do not. If your family has ever come running back, not because they missed you, but because they needed something from you, drop they came back in the comments. I know that feeling. I know how it hollows you out. But here is what happened next in that hospital room. It changed everything. I had been waiting my whole life to say what I was about to say. So hold on, because this is where it gets real. My dad tries first. Dad, can we talk about this rationally? Rationally, Grandma Monica's voice is quiet, which is somehow worse than yelling. Your daughter collapsed on stage. She had a brain tumor. The hospital called you 47 times. We were on a plane. You were not on a plane. You were at the gate. I talked to you, Michael. You chose to board anyway. My mom steps forward. Monica, this is a family matter. Lucy is family. She is my family. And for 22 years, I have watched you treat her like she does not exist. That is not true. My mom's composure cracks. We love Lucy. You love what Lucy does for you. There is a difference. Grandma Monica turns to my dad. Tell me, Michael, when is Lucy's birthday? My dad blinks. March, no April. October 15th, I say quietly. It is October 15th. Dad. He has the decency to look ashamed. Grandma Monica continues. What is her favorite book? Her best friend's name? What job did she just accept after graduation? Silence. Sophia's jaw is tight. She knows all these things. She has known them for years. My brother James rolls his eyes. Grandma, this is ridiculous. We did not fly all the way back to play 20 questions. No, Grandma Monica says. You flew back because you heard about the money. The word lands like a bomb. My mom's face goes pale. We came because Lucy was sick. You came because I told Michael that Lucy would receive her inheritance directly without you as intermediaries. Grandma Monica's eyes are hard. Suddenly, after years of ignoring her, you are concerned about her welfare. That inheritance belongs to the family. That inheritance belongs to Lucy. Grandma Monica's voice rises for the first time. Her late grandmother left it for her, not for your kitchen remodel or your vacations. My mom opens her mouth, closes it. I watch the calculations happen behind her eyes, and something in me goes cold. You want to know the truth, Monica? My mom's voice shifts, something raw breaking through. Fine. You want the truth. My dad reaches for her arm. Lila. She shakes him off. No, you want to make me the villain? Let us have it out. She turns to me. Her eyes are wet, but not with guilt. With something older, something wounded. You want to know why I have always kept my distance from you, Lucy, because every time I look at you, I see her. Who? Your late grandmother. My mom spits the name like poison, the woman who spent 30 years making me feel like I was not good enough for her son. Grandma Monica goes very still. The first time I came to this family, my mom continues, your late grandmother looked at me like I was dirt under her shoes. 26 years of snide comments. 26 years of Michael, are you sure about this one? 26 years of never being enough. I cannot speak. And then she died. And I thought finally, I can be accepted. My mom laughs bitterly. But then you were born, Lucy. And you looked exactly like her. Same eyes, same stubborn chin, same everything. That is not Lucy's fault, Sophia says sharply. I know that. My mom screams, then quieter. I know that. But every time I looked at her, I saw your late grandmother judging me. I could not. I could not. She breaks off, covers her face. I should feel sympathy. Part of me does. But another part of me thinks I was a baby. I was a child. I spent 22 years wondering why my mother could not love me. And the answer is because I have my late grandmother's face. A woman I never even met. Mom, I say slowly, I am not her. I know. Do you? Because I have spent my whole life paying for something I did not do. She does not answer. That tells me everything. I push myself up against the pillows. My body is weak, but my voice is steady. Mom, I say I understand now. You had a painful relationship with my late grandmother. You felt judged. That hurt you. Hope flickers in her eyes. But that is not my fault. The hope dims. For 22 years, I have done everything right. Perfect grades, no trouble. I worked long shifts so you would not have to pay for my education. I showed up to every family event. I helped with every party, every holiday, every crisis. Mom, I am not finished. My voice does not waver. I did all of that because I thought if I tried hard enough, you would finally see me. Finally love me the way you love my brother James. My brother James shifts uncomfortably. But I was wrong because you were never going to see me. You were always going to see her. I turned to my dad. And you watched this happen for 22 years and said nothing. He flinches. Lucy, I did not know how to what? Stand up for your daughter. Ask your wife why she flinches when I enter a room. It is complicated. It is really not. I shake my head. You chose the path of least resistance, and the path of least resistance meant sacrificing me. Grandma Monica squeezes my hand. I look at each of them in turn. My mom crying quietly, my dad staring at the floor. My brother James' arms crossed defensive. I do not hate any of you, but I also cannot keep pretending this is normal. I cannot keep being the invisible one. What do you want? My dad asks quietly. I take a breath. I want you to see me as a person, not as a ghost, not as a burden, not as someone who exists to make your lives easier. And if we cannot, then I will mourn the family I wished I had, and I will build a new one. The room is silent. I turn to Grandma Monica. I want to talk about the gift. She nods, pulls the manila envelope from her jacket, the same envelope she brought to graduation. This is yours, she says. Your late grandmother set it aside 25 years ago. It has been growing with interest ever since. I take the envelope. Do not open it. I know what you are thinking I say to my parents. You are wondering if I will share it, if I will bail out my brother James's wedding, or pay for your next renovation. My mom starts to speak, stops. I am not going to do that. Lucy. My brother James finally breaks his silence. That is so selfish. Our late grandmother wanted me to have it, not you. But we are family. Family, I almost laugh. You are using that word now after you posted Instagram photos from Paris while I was in brain surgery. My brother James's face reddens. I did not know it was that serious. Because you did not ask. She falls silent. I look at my mom. I am not taking this money to hurt you. I am taking it because it is mine. Because my late grandmother wanted me to have options. To not depend on people who see me as an afterthought. What about us, my dad asks. Are we just supposed to lose you? You already lost me, I say, my voice softening just slightly. Years ago, when you stopped showing up, when you stopped asking how I was, when you let me become invisible, I take a breath. But I am not shutting the door completely. If you want to be in my life, really in my life, you have to earn it. You have to see me as Lucy, not as my late grandmother's ghost, not as my brother James's backup, just me. And if we try, my mom's voice is small, then we can start over slowly with boundaries. What kind of boundaries? I look her in the eye. I will let you know when I am ready. My brother James moves first. He grabs his shopping bags, face tight with anger. This is insane. You are choosing to tear this family apart over money. This is not about money, James. Really, because it sounds like I nearly died and you went shopping. He freezes. I am not saying that to make you feel guilty. I am saying it because you need to hear it. You need to understand what it felt like to wake up in a hospital bed and see your family posing in front of the Eiffel Tower. His lower lip trembles. For a moment, I see something crack behind his eyes. Then he walks out. The door clicks shut behind him. My mom is crying now. Real tears. The kind that cannot be faked. I am sorry, she whispers. I am so sorry, Lucy. I know, I was wrong. I was so wrong. I know, Mom, but I do not know how to fix it. Neither do I. Not yet. I pause. But if you really want to try, you have to get help. Talk to someone, a therapist, work through whatever my late grandmother made you feel so you stop projecting it onto me. She nods, wipes her eyes, and leaves without another word. Now it is just me, my dad, Grandma Monica, and Sophia. My dad sits down heavily in the chair beside my bed. Lucy, he says quietly, I failed you. Yes, I should have protected you. I told myself you were strong, that you did not need me, but that was just an excuse. He looks at me for the first time, maybe ever really looks at me. I cannot undo 22 years, but can I try to do better? I study his face, the genuine remorse there. Call me next week, I say. Finally. Ask me how I am doing and actually listen to the answer. He nods, stands, squeezes my hand once. I will. Then he is gone too. 2 weeks later, I am discharged from the hospital with a clean bill of health. The tumor is gone. The doctors call it a miracle. I call it a second chance. I do not move back home. I use a small portion of my late grandmother's gift to rent a tiny apartment near the community center in Portland, where I will be starting my new role as a program coordinator for youth and family support programs in the fall. It is nothing fancy. 1 bedroom, a small kitchen, a window that overlooks a parking lot. But it is mine. The fallout happens fast. My brother James blocks me on every social media platform. His new bio reads, "Some people do not appreciate family." I screenshot it and send it to Sophia. She sends back a string of middle finger emojis. 2 days later, I get a call from Sophia. She sounds gleeful. You are not going to believe this. What? My brother James's fiancée heard the whole story from her mother, who heard it from the hospital grapevine. Sophia is practically bouncing. She is reconsidering the engagement. I do not feel triumphant. Just tired. That is not what I wanted. I know, but still. A week after that, I see on social media that the engagement party photos have been deleted. Then the engagement announcement itself. My mom texts me, "Your brother James is devastated. I hope you are happy." I stare at the message for a long time. Then I type back, "I am not happy about his pain, but I am not responsible for it either." She does not respond. My dad, to his credit, does call the following Tuesday, right when he said he would. "Hi, Lucy." "Hi, Dad. How are you feeling?" "Better. Still tired, but better." A pause then. "What did you have for dinner last night?" I almost smile. Such a small question, but he has never asked it before. "Pasta," I say with Sophia. "That sounds nice." It is awkward, stilted, but it is something for now. It is enough. 3 months later, I am standing in my new office at the community center arranging materials for the youth programs. 26 young people will be starting the after-school support group on Monday. Sophia is helping me hang posters, or rather criticizing my poster placement while eating my chips. A little to the left, she says, mouth full, "No, your left. I do not know why I keep you around. Because I am delightful and you love me. I cannot argue with that." The room is starting to look like mine. A reading corner with mismatched pillows. A bulletin board that says every voice matters. My phone buzzes. "Grandma Monica, how is the setup going?" "Almost done. Are we still on for dinner Sunday?" "Would not miss it." I hear her smile through the phone. "Your late grandmother would be so proud, Lucy, building your own life here." My eyes sting. I wish I had known her. You would have loved each other. She pauses. Speaking of which, I found something while cleaning out the attic. A letter she wrote before she passed, addressed to my future granddaughter. I grip the phone. "What?" "She wrote it 25 years ago, before your mother was even pregnant. She just knew somehow." "What does it say?" "That is for you to find out. I will bring it Sunday." After she hangs up, I sit down in my new office chair, the one I will use every day for the programs ahead. Sophia plops into the visitor chair. "You okay?" "She wrote me a letter before I was born." Sophia's eyes widen. "That is kind of amazing." "Yeah." I look around my office at the life I am building from scratch. It feels right. 6 months after graduation, I was sitting at my desk after the last program session of the day. The community center was quiet now. 22 young people, 22 stories, 22 kids who would come back next week expecting me to help them find their voices and build their confidence. A knock on my door. Miss Donovan, it is Marcus, one of my quieter participants. Can I ask you something? Of course. He shuffles in. 15 years old, always in the back during group discussions, rarely speaks up. Did you ever feel like no one sees you? My heart clenched. Yes, I tell him honestly. For a very long time, I felt exactly like that. What did you do? I think about my answer carefully. I found people who did see me. My grandma Monica, my best friend Sophia, and eventually I tapped my chest. I learned to see myself. That is it. That is a lot harder than it sounds. I smile. But once you know your own worth, you stop needing everyone else to tell you. He nods slowly. Thanks, Miss Donovan. After he leaves, I stay at my desk a while longer. On my phone, there is a photo I look at sometimes. Me at 6 years old holding my late grandmother's hand in a picture I had never seen before. Grandma Monica found it in the box of things. She is smiling down at me even though she passed before I turned 1. In this photo, she is looking at me like I am the most important person in the world. I used to think love was something you had to earn, work for, sacrifice yourself for. Now I know better. Love is who shows up. Love is who stays. And I do not need to keep setting myself on fire to prove I am worth someone's warmth. I know my worth now. That is enough. That is more than enough. 1 year after graduation, my phone rings while I am reviewing program plans for the next month. A number I had not seen in months. My brother James. I let it ring twice, 3 times. Then I answer. Lucy. His voice is smaller than I had ever heard it. Can we talk? I am listening. His fiancée left for real this time. He laughs, but it is hollow. Turns out her family did not want someone from a family that abandons people in hospitals. I do not say anything, and I got into some debt credit cards. I thought she would help cover it, but she trails off. I do not know what to do. Why are you calling me? Because you are the only person who does not want something from me. His voice breaks. Mom and Dad are furious. They keep talking about how I embarrassed them. My friends only liked me because of the money and connections. And I hear him crying. Real tears. The kind you cannot fake. Part of me wants to say now, you know how it feels to be alone, to be abandoned. But that is not who I want to be. James, I say carefully, I am sorry about your fiancé. I am sorry you are hurting. You do not have to, but I cannot fix this for you. I cannot pay off your debt or make her come back. That is not my role anymore. Silence. Then why did you answer? Because you are my brother, and I wanted you to know that I do not hate you. He is quiet for a long moment. I was terrible to you, he whispers. Yes. I do not know why. I just never had to try. Everything was always handed to me, and you worked so hard, and I think I was jealous. Maybe. Can we ever be okay? I think about it. Really think. I do not know, I say honestly. But if you are willing to do the work, I am willing to try. Really? Really. But James, you have to actually change, not just say you will. I know, I hope so. 2 years after graduation, I am sitting in a crowded auditorium, waiting for Grandma Monica to take the stage. The banner behind the podium reads, Youth and Community Leader of the Year Award. Sophia is beside me, dressed up for once. I cannot believe she is finally getting recognized. She deserves it 10 times over. The announcer calls her name. The crowd applauds. Grandma Monica walks slowly to the podium, 80 years old but still standing tall. She adjusts the microphone, scans the audience until her eyes find mine, and then she smiles. Thank you for this honor, she begins. But I want to dedicate this award to someone else, my granddaughter Lucy. My breath catches. 2 years ago, I watched this young woman collapse on stage at her graduation. She had a brain tumor. She nearly died. She pauses. And she woke up to find that the people who should have been there were not. The audience is silent. But Lucy did not give up. She did not become bitter. Instead, she built a life filled with people who love her for who she is, not what she can do for them. She is running youth and family support programs now, shaping young lives, showing kids every day that they matter. Her voice wavers. Her late grandmother, my mother, once told me, "The people who are forgotten by the world need us to remember them the most." Lucy taught me what that really means. I am crying now. Sophia is crying too. Grandma Monica raises her award toward me. "This belongs to you, sweetheart, for having the courage to choose yourself." After the ceremony, I hug her so tight I think I might never let go. "I love you, Grandma." "I love you too, Lucy. Your late grandmother would be so proud." "I know," I whisper. I finally know. My family is complicated. It always will be. My dad calls every Tuesday. My mom sends cards on holidays now, careful and polite. My brother James is in therapy. We text sometimes. But my real family, they are the ones who showed up, the ones who stayed. Grandma, Monica, Sophia, the young people in my programs, and finally myself. If you have made it this far, I want to share something with you. I used to wonder why my mother could not love me, why I had to work twice as hard for half the recognition, why I was invisible in my own family. Now I understand. My mother was not a villain. She was a wounded person who never healed from her own pain. Psychologists call it projection. When someone's unresolved trauma spills onto someone else, she saw her mother-in-law in my face, and instead of dealing with that wound, she let it poison our relationship for 22 years. And me, my weakness was my desperation for approval. I kept believing that if I tried harder, sacrificed more, achieved enough, they would finally see me. That is called people-pleasing, and it is a survival mechanism. It kept me safe when I was small. But as an adult, it nearly destroyed me. The brain tumor was the most terrifying thing that ever happened to me. But in a strange way, it was also a gift. It forced me to see my family clearly. It gave me permission to stop performing for people who were not watching. So here is what I learned, and I hope you will carry it with you. You cannot earn love from people who are not willing to give it. Stop setting yourself on fire to keep others warm, especially when they will not even look at the flame. Your real family is not determined by blood. It is determined by who shows up when life gets hard. And finally, you are allowed to choose yourself. That is not selfish. That is survival. If you are in a situation like mine, if you are the invisible one, the forgotten one, the one who gives and never receives, I see you. And I hope you learn, like I did, that the only approval you truly need is your own. Thank you for staying with me until the end. If you have your own story about family, about boundaries, about learning to see your own worth, I would love to hear it. Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story meant something to you, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. There is another story waiting in the description. Something tells me you will want to hear it. Until next time.